Hello, everyone. I'm Sha, the writing and research half of the Tales and Oracle of 11. Some of you may know me as Little Cat on this channel. But for those who are new, hello, 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 and I hope you're having a great week, month, year, and beyond. I'm going to address the quality of the video and how you won't be able to see a high-res image of the bestest, cutest doggo, but you still got to see the bestest, cutest doggo anyway, so we're gonna take that as a win. We talk a lot about women in these stories doing silly or petty things, and we're here for it. There's also some talk about cremation and a bit about death, but nothing too deep, so I hope you keep that in mind as we go through the conversation with much mirth and laughter, no matter the topic. On to Camelia, our artist from Vietnam.
Right. I'm Camelia Pham. People can call me Camelia, like you. No, not really. It's Camelia. I'm an illustrator from Hanoi. I am the owner of a hack and cute dog who is sleeping right now. Never mind. Um, that's my title. Like either illustrator or dog owner. That's all I'm proud of in life. I studied graphic design in school, so now my art is mostly just very graphic illustration with like bold colors and using human bodies as like the main thing to tell my stories. You guys can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Behance, whatever people do to like get their names out there, and just Google my name. Just Google Camelia Pham. I also have my own website of .com, so just to make myself sound way more legit than I am. So yeah.
How did you find yourself in the arts? Have you been, was it since you were a child, like the first thing you grabbed was a pencil, or did you grow into
Oh
it?
no, I would eat the hell out of that if that's the first thing I grab. I mean, I start drawing at 4 when I consciously know not to eat everything. My grandpa teach me how to draw like dogs, cats, horses, the whole level up from cats. But yeah, drawing a lot of Pokemons, tracing them on my notebooks, very Chinese Pokemon-y. And then, yeah, from then on, it's just the grow of love for arts and drawing all kind of like, that kind of basic drawing manga characters and then slowly evolve into my own art style. Yeah, before that I was no, not before that. Obviously, after 4 years old, until I graduated high school, and then my mom didn't have any problems with me joining art school. It's just my decision, and as Asians, we're just like either making money or follow your dreams. So I was thinking I could what sounds the most money-ish, like what um, degree could sound like it brings the most money, like your guess, which one?
Obviously, graphic design.
No, obviously not.
Well, I mean, if
That
you're
is
Asian, any persuasion of Asian, it doesn't matter which side you come from. You either have to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, an accountant. What's the other one? Doctor, lawyer, engineer, accountant, and the other one that I can't remember right now. But essentially, if you're not one of those five things, you are a failure to your family.
basically. Well, I was thinking of joining a financial thingy degree. I don't know, business management. It just sounds business. Have business in the degree sounds very important. Either that or yeah, art school. And so I'm not good with math. Who the hell am I to think that I could actually do finance stuff? So yeah, goodbye with the whole finance thing. Join art school, and I was just thinking, trying to be a little bit more pragmatic, saying, okay, which one in art school sounds like you're gonna have jobs when you graduated? Graphic design.
How much do you know about your country's folk tales and oral history?
Yeah, well, I think I know the basics that everyone else know when they were a kid. They got told by then grandmas and their moms and their teachers at kindergarten. But yeah, I'm sure there are plenty more that I don't know, because we in Vietnam we have like 54 ethnic groups. So I'm sure each of them would have their own fairy tales, folk tales of their own culture that I am not privileged or too ignorant to look into that yet. So yeah.
It was a struggle because I come from the ocean gang, so I've split Southeast Asia into two parts. So many different groups of Vietnamese people, and this is pre-colonialism, right? Or is it a series of ethnic groups that are still maintained in Vietnam?
Still maintaining,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. I'm just saying that maybe some oh, I don't want to say things that are not true, because I'm not that good with history, but definitely some of them could come from the west side,
Uh-huh.
like Laos and Thailand, and they migrate here and they become like their own ethnic groups.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I shouldn't say something that I do not know, but yeah.
That's fair. I actually had a lot of trouble sort of trying to find stories that were specifically for Vietnam. For example, there's the tale about the goddess of rice, and that's endemic to like
Yeah,
three other different countries, and I'm like, I can't use that.
that's so Asian.
Like, it's like, what do you like? Rice.
Yeah.
What are you, the god of
Yeah, like
rice?
it just sounds like something made up by a Westerner. It's like, oh yeah, you guys like rice, definitely have a goddess of rice. You're gonna be a female as well, definitely.
It's like, who else has to cook the rice? Obviously, a woman. Did you have anybody older than you or in your friend group who would tell you stories, teaching you how to be a human being, essentially, like a fable, like?
Oh yeah. Oh well, definitely. That's how kids learn morals,
Uh-huh.
just through stories. But then we just have so many stories that it's just like not really that morally, like it's a little bit morally questionable. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's the what do you call that? The guys who does like all the famous fable, like famous fairy tales
The
of
Brothers
the
Grimm.
world. Yeah, kind of like the traditional, like the original one of like all the ending is just very grim.
Yeah.
They do have some like that, which is
Ah.
that's one of my favorite childhood tale. It's kind of like Vietnamese Cinderella.
That is wild.
Kind of the same whole thing of Cinderella, of like a very poor girl have a stepsister and a evil stepsister and stepmom
Uh-huh.
wanting to marry the prince, but then yeah, the stepsister actually killed Vietnamese Cinderella. Her name is Tấm. She killed her, and then the stepsister married the prince, but then the Cinderella, let's just call her for that for the sake of
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, it's the story. Cinderella came back incarnated as a bird, and then got killed again because well, okay, this is a little bit much. She came back as a bird, and then she was just like, ooh, fly around, flirting with the king. Not flirting, as in like, look at me, I'm a bird. No,
Mm.
it's just like singing, and then the king was just like, the prince is just like, oh my god, such a beautiful bird, such a nice voice, yada yada. And then the bird was just like fly over to the stepsister, who is now the bride,
Mm-hmm.
kind of talk about her. It's like, you married my husband. No, no, girl. And then the stepsister was like, oh my god, what is the hell is this? Obviously, I freaked out too. So she killed a bird, buried it somewhere, and then that somewhere, she still came back. That goddamn, so hard to kill. She came back as a tree. I don't know. Is it? I Google it. It's called a sapele tree. It's just a very big tree with like, it's kind of like a famous tree in Africa. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
something
Like
baobab.
a baobab,
Yeah,
the
it's
fat
not as
one.
big, but like that fat one that will produce shade for you.
Uh-huh.
And so the prince loved that tree again because it produced shade. It's just so minimal.
He's just so easily pleased, this
Yeah,
prince.
so I'm like, oh, you produce shade. Like, okay, so can I. But yeah. And then what was it? Oh, I don't remember. It produced shade, and then the stepsister was jealous of a tree. But no, because she can't produce shade. So she chopped it down. She chop it down and make it into a handloom, like the thing that you make um
like
stuff like
uh like fabric, like a cloth thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you call a handloom, right?
Like makes thread? No.
Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of like a thread maker. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, they just call it a thread maker. And then whenever she does the thread maker was just like crickly crick crick into a song saying, "Girl, you steal my man."
Just imagine like you get murdered by your sister who
Yeah,
steals your guy, and then
yeah,
your entire unlife purpose is to just come back and harass her.
yeah. Basically, just
What's
haunt the
that?
shit out of her. Like, yo, man, that's my man. It's just ridiculous. So she burned that goddamn thing, and then from the ash just came out another tree. But like no one touched that tree. The king was already forgotten about this, and then the tree have fruits, and then somehow some woman just walked by saying like, "Yo, fruits, fall into me," and the fruit does, and then she brought it home. Yeah, don't even ask. She brought it home. It's like she reincarnated into the fruits and out as a human being. Oh, I'm so shit at telling stories,
No,
but
no,
like the
it's
fruits
so good.
come. It's just from the fruits, Cinderella came out and then helped the woman clean while she's out in the field doing farmer stuff, I guess. And then she came back seeing that I just have a daughter here now cleaning the house for me, so she's fine with having her there, I guess. And then the next day she went to meet the prince. The prince was like, "Oh my god, you're supposed to meet my brother." I don't know why the prince married the stepsister in the first, like, you can't marry the sister, like the love of your life, so you married the dumbed down version.
I
Fine.
mean, okay, here's the thing. I have come to a conclusion that maybe the prince is not all there.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
he
It's just
sounds
it
maybe
should be
he's a
called the
himbo.
adventure of himbo.
Yeah, yeah, because he's like he wants to marry a girl, but the girl disappears and or dies. So he marries his
Yeah,
sister, and then he just
yeah.
gets enthralled by a bird and then by a shade from a tree. I think yeah, he's
Exactly.
definitely a himbo. He's hot but
Okay.
incredibly dumb.
Yeah, definitely dumb. I mean, couldn't I do not. I you can just fine. Let's just say, all right, we get remarried again. I don't know, back in the day, oh, you don't even need remarried. Prince could have multiple
Yeah.
wife anyways.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, he make her into the queen, and then in the end, Cinderella went and dug a hole and dumped the stepsister and the stepmom there. I don't even like the stepmom didn't really do much. Always just my version because the stepsister do most of the things. But yeah, they dump her. She dumped two of them in the hole, and then pour hot water on them,
Oh
and then make
damn.
them into fish sauce. And so it was just it's just so labor intensive way to kill them. But yeah, that's very Vietnamese style. Like if I can't make them into rice, might as well make them either to soy sauce or fish sauce. But yeah.
This, I think this is a new level of petty that I aspire
Yeah,
to become.
exactly.
Like,
You will smell as bad as fish sauce in your next life. You can't even come back anymore because I'll consume you slowly.
exactly.
yeah.
Like she learned from the fact that she died, but she didn't really die. So she's like, I'm gonna turn you into fish sauce. There's no way you can come back from that. You'll just
You
exist.
can come back as a fish. But yeah.
That's amazing. So that's
It's
your
so
is
stupid.
that your favorite childhood tale in the world or just from Vietnam?
Just from Vietnam. There's plenty of other weird in Vietnam as well, like a hat that could nail a girl. But yeah, no, it just sounds so stupid. It's just like a guy bouncing around only in his head. His name is like Coconut or something. As in,
Uh-huh.
he was just a round thing. It's like an isekai or something. It just came back as a round thing. And then I don't even remember the rest of the story because the character design is so stupid. Just this round thing bouncing around. And uh, it's like those kind of the princess kissed the frog thing. Like I love him because of his personality, not because of his appearances, even though he's a literal bobblehead just bobbing around.
Yeah.
And then he turned into a prince, a very hot guy. So yeah, that's kind of weird
This
happening
just
around.
teaching children and young adults to just kiss things and hope they turn into a hot person.
Yeah, definitely. That's why back in the day I kissed my toys all the time. Like, please, one of you will land.
Just turn into a hot guy quick.
Any of you? It's just I try to buy very like teddy bear that could have a potential to turn into something hot. Like, you get arms and legs. Like when you turn into something, it's just definitely going to be easier.
Exactly.
But yeah.
But as a child, you don't think of the logic behind it. Like if I kiss a cup and it turns into human, the adult me will be like, and then I'm going to house them and clothe them and feed them.
Yeah.
I don't want that anymore.
Overthinking, or if they're hard, I'll pimp them out into the model world or something. I was just gonna go on tours with them, just make some momentarily means out of it. Then yeah,
Make them like a TikTok star or something. Like make them hot for
yeah, then
Instagram.
you're gonna become a sugar mama or pimp,
Bleh.
whichever.
I don't know if I can do that. Like what their name's gonna be? Like they're just gonna materialize, and then your name is Mug because that's where you came from.
That sounds half Scottish already. It's like mug something.
Mug,
It's the mug man.
Mug, Mug Coffee.
Yeah,
He's a
that sounds
McCoffee.
hot
His
already.
name is
I'll dig that.
his name is Ewan McCoffee.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, that sound like a porn star name.
Oh no! That's a level of petty. I can't even. Like
Yeah.
I when I die, and if I'm pissed off at someone, I'm just gonna turn into a bird and talk shit at them until they shoot me.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And then I'm gonna
If you're
become a
in
tree.
Vietnam, you got eaten immediately. Yeah.
I did tell my siblings that if I were to die, I don't want a typical burial. If I
Yeah.
do get buried, plant me with like a durian seed so that
Yeah.
when I turn into a durian tree, I can just drop my fruits on people I don't
Heavy
like.
fruits. Yeah,
Exactly. It's
exactly.
just die.
It's just the most thorny thing ever.
It's like that.
But who sleeps next to a durian tree?
You never know.
That's extreme.
But
Just
that is
people.
my hope. You know how
Yeah.
they say that cemeteries are taking up a lot of land that could be used to house people.
Oh, I don't have
There's
to
a whole
hear it. I can see it.
yeah.
The other day, I just went to my grandpa's cemetery, and the amount of grave, and that is just from my city. So yeah, I do not want to get buried there because
Mhm.
it's so like clustered. Every tomb is just like this much next to each other. Like I can't even stand next to someone now when I'm living much next to them. I can't believe to live in eternity, like die in eternity next to a stranger,
Uh-huh.
that close to a stranger. So yeah, no, I don't think we have that good service of what do you call it? Like burn me, like not burying, but
What is that called? Cremation.
yeah, we don't have that good of a cremation ceremony, as in like we can only cremate till there's bone. We can't do it till there's ash. So people still put those bones into a tomb, which is a waste of space. Like if I can already be in a box, might as well put me somewhere nice. But yeah, you were saying?
Oh, I was
I cut you off.
I love the topic of death. People think, oh, is it because you're depressed? I'm like, no, death is fun.
No, yeah.
But also, you're absolutely right in that if you go for cremation, even in this country, you don't get burnt to ash. Somebody has to pick up your bones with a mortar and a pestle, sort of grind you down before they put you in an urn. And I'm like, holy shit, just put me in a Vitamix. Blend. And then scatter me everywhere. And then there's stories about people who are turned into ash and went through the Vitamix procedure, and then they are reformed as a diamond. And I'm like, I don't want to wear grandma.
I mean, if she's pretty.
It's so creepy. And then I think another person said that they want to be turned into a diamond and have that be an heirloom piece so he could forever be put on the mantelpiece of his family to watch over them. And I'm like, that's creepy.
I do not trust my offspring.
Also, I mean, hopefully you won't break, but I don't trust the offspring to sort of not sell you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna end up in some kind of pawn shop. Ugh, no.
I don't want to live like that. Like, I would rather be a tree. Yes. I would be very happy being a stinky durian tree.
Yeah, eco-friendly. At least it does more to Earth than human anyway, so you're winning.
Exactly. And if nobody cuts me down, I will technically live forever.
In most fairy tales, it's just trying to teach young people stories about how women are meek, silly, this and that. That's why I like that Cinderella thing. At least she fight for herself, even.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
She doesn't
like
really fight.
You have stories about women being weak and sellable property towards men and just being there as servants, right? And then you have the alternate stories of women just going absolutely apeshit and murdering people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where is the line? We're either subservient wives or absolute demons.
Because the normal is going to be us, as in like we don't kill anyone and we're not that well, yet. And no one want to kill us yet. So, you know, it's boring hearing about just like that gray area. We want either white or black. It's gonna make more dramatic stories.
It's so funny. I love the demon stories. It's like women become angry, does a murder. Or woman becomes angry, runs away, becomes a witch, and then does a murder.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's just either no emotion or like motion up top.
Exactly.
Nothing in between.
No. Everything in between is I think the in between stories usually have to do with children. It's like a mom who has to suffer being a mom, or a wife to somebody really dumb or really, really too smart. That's the in between that we have, but it's never anything good.
Yeah, I don't really think of any good stories that features children in my knowledge of very limited amount of fairy tales in my countries. But yeah, children's are nice, are fine and stuff, but then they are not dramatic. So I need that drama, I need that tragedy. And it feels bad for wanting tragedy on children. So we want a tragedy on adults. Yeah.
Fair. Going back to the whole mermaid thing, in Philippines, I think there is this mermaid creature who doesn't like adults but likes kids. So they would try to help the children,
Keto. Oh,
but
okay.
and
Like only, not.
actively drown adults. Like if they find out you're lying to
All
them, they
right.
will drown you. And I'm like, oh damn, that's intense.
I mean, that's reasonable. They
Secretly, we just
have
wanna.
moral code. They don't do, yeah.
It's like liars get
They
drowned.
don't do children. Yeah, you guys grow up into the people that we will drown later on, but not now.
I save you today. You better not come back and lie to me.
Yeah.
Wild.
Oh God. But yeah,
Like,
it's just teach that children you can lie, adults
uh-huh.
no.
Oh, kids' lives are a special kind of thing, though. Their lives are weird. I don't want to get into it because personally, I cannot wrap my head
You are
around when
getting
they
into
lie.
it.
It's it's
Yeah,
very based on their personal reality, not actual
yeah.
reality.
That's way more fun. It's like it's just at least the lies doesn't come from a bad
Yeah.
place, as in like them trying to deceive us or anything. It's
Mm.
just like how they feel like at that moment. So which is like refreshing, not
Very
like I
pure.
lie to my wife because I want to cheat or something like
Yeah.
that.
I want to talk to you about your piece of art. It is the Pearl Princess. Can you tell me
Mm-hmm.
what it is about? Because I've never heard of this story.
Yeah, it's like the quite a famous love story, quite controversy as well. Let me just think of way to not rambling. Okay, so there's a king. This is I. Okay, let's just not talk about history. Let's just say there's a king called An. He built a citadel, and somewhere, I don't know why they have to add this detail. It could be fine without this detail, but I guess they just need to have some mythological animals into it. But there's a turtle god that wants to help him protect that citadel. The turtle gave him his claw that could make into a crossbow so powerful that it could shoot 100 arrows at the same time. So that's his secret weapon
Hmm.
that he used to defeat Shiodas, in like nowadays in China,
Uh-huh.
like a China's army that's trying to invade us. So he defeated them so many times that they were like, all right, fine, we're not trying to invade you anymore. Let's shake hands, make peace. And to prove the peace, he sent the Childa guys send his son over to An to marry it off to say like we're one piece now,
Mm.
one family.
Yeah.
Uh, but the twist is Childa sent his son over to trying to steal that crossbow, try to steal that weapon, and instead he fall in love with An daughter, Micho. The Childa's son's called Chok Tui. I'm sorry with all these names.
It's fine. It's fine.
We just need to focus on Chok Tui is the guy and Micho is the girl in the picture
Uh-huh.
that I drew. Yeah. So he actually loved Micho, but he still need to does his father's proud and like make his country proud and all that stuff. So he still asks Micho like, oh, what, like he's just trying to be all coy and innocent. Like, I don't know what's this weapon that you have? I heard it's such a powerful weapon. Can I see it? And then Micho was just so excited to show her husband her thing. It's like, oh, come, and then just show the most like secretive thing of her country to this guy, thinking that he's not going to use it against her. And he was like, hey. Still, he loves her, so he would bring the crossbow back to, like, he would hide the crossbow away so his dad could come over and invade the country. But he also trying to keep Micho with him. So he was saying that he will come back to his dad's country for a bit, but he will give her a goose coat so that when he came back, he would follow the feathers of the goose coat to find her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she just have to put it on and then pluck the feather off the
Mm-hmm.
way to Hansel and Gretel much. Um, yeah, so Childa invade the countries. And Zimvung trying to find the crossbow, couldn't find it. He had to ran away and got his daughter and ran away to the sea. He begged the turtle god like help us and everything, and the turtle god, which is very dramatically pointed at his daughter, saying the enemy is behind you, and he was like turn around and see the trail of goose feather. God damn the woman! Trail of goose feather lead directly to where they are right now. So he was just so angry at his daughter, he got his sword out and killed her, and then he ran to the ocean and killed himself. And then Trọng Thủy, after like invading and everything, like cool, now I find my wife. Following the trail of the feather to the ocean, saw his wife dead in the ocean, blood go all around it and everything. He bring her body back, bury it in the citadel, and then threw himself over a well. So the legend said that, yeah, everyone died, no one wins, other than Trọng Thui's dad. He invaded the country, but then his son died. So I don't know where his priority lies, but Micho's blood, legend said that whenever like it hits the wave of like it hits the ocean and the oyster eat it, and the pearl of that oyster, if you bring to the well where Trọng Thủy died to wash it, it will shine even more brighter. So yeah, that's the legend.
Huh. I've heard of this
yeah.
story before, but the version
Really?
that I have is completely
Mm-hmm.
different, and it doesn't have the end bit where if you take the pearl to the well, it will shine brighter. There's nothing in there that said that.
Really?
Yeah, so
Well,
thank you so much. That's
what's
amazing.
your version then?
My version is just the giant golden tortoise do the thing and he give the claw,
Yeah.
and the husband did not hide
Yeah.
the bow away. He just replaced the claw with like a fake claw.
Oh yeah, I think it's also happened in
Yeah.
mine. I just know that he did something to make the king couldn't use the
Yeah,
crossbow.
yeah.
And now if he brought it, I don't know why he couldn't bring it back to his country. It's such a
Right?
valuable thing. You're just
Like why can't you just use it against
yeah,
the country that you don't like and like steal your wife away with you?
yeah. Why he have to run back home like a mama's boy, and then it was like, I'll find you later. It's fine. It's war. You'll be fine. Yeah.
It's like, where is the logic? Where is the
I know
logic?
that's why it's so controversy. Everyone's just saying that Micho is such a simp. She was just like, oh, all about my husband. My husband won what the most secretive thing in my country. Fine, I'll give it to him. It's the husband, man. It's the husband. He's manipulated her. Why is that her problem? She's a simp, fine, but then yeah, the husband
But at
shouldn't
the same
be like,
time,
oh,
you would think that the daughter of a king would be educated a little bit more.
yeah, she should be a little bit smarter. But then she was just like,
She's a
You're
simp.
my husband." Yeah, she's a simp. She's a simp lord. God damn the woman. I feel so bad, but then yeah, a little bit of like, you should have seen that coming. Like just a little bit of doubt.
Right?
Yeah. So everyone was just like, that's her fault that she sell off the whole country. She's not a nationalist, and all that stuff. But you forgot that the enemy is in the house. So,
That's so what?
cut her some
Okay,
slack.
also the whole premise of let's say I invade your house, or I try to invade your house and you beat me out. You're like, "No, no." And then I come with a basket of gifts. You're not just going to take my basket of gifts and be like, "No, we're cool
Yeah,
now." You're going to be like, "What is this? Is this poisoned?"
yeah, definitely. Test the water first. Like, I
Exactly.
guess they test the water, and then he had been living very nicely for like 3 to 5 years just to prove that he's fine and innocent, and then attack. But still, and also
Sus.
yeah, also back in the day, I'm sure they are very young. They married when they're 12 or
Oh,
something, barely puberty or something. I don't know, maybe 12 to 16. Mine's still young.
that's
Um,
true. That's true.
yeah. So I can cut her some slack a little bit, saying that she still believes in love and still naive. But yeah, I don't know.
That's still wild to me.
Yeah.
Every time I read it, every time I read a story about these kind of things, I have to, like you just did, remind myself that they're probably just children
Yeah.
and they cannot think the way we do because they're babies and babies are stupid.
Yeah. And also, now we are more like, I don't know. I don't think that we're more intelligent.
We're just incredibly
getting,
jaded.
yeah. We're just way more sus at everything. So it was just like, no, let's just think about this for a second here. Like back in the day, you don't have anything to think about. It's just like, all right, I'm married, I'm
Everything's chill.
supported.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why
you don't
would I
have
ever think
to.
that my husband would then? Yeah, I'm a princess for God's sake.
All I have
got
to do
my
is sit down and
goose
look pretty
jacket.
in this cool
Yeah.
ass jacket. There's no
Yeah.
way he would give me this jacket because he didn't already know that something bad is gonna happen, right?
He loves me. That's why he buy me this very expensive goose jacket. I got it like the whole world. I'm the only one who had this goose jacket. How awesome is that? Don't have to think about anything else. That's that is such a girly thing. Like, just give her a jacket. She's fine. Just
Like,
cheat on her, lie on her, whatever. Give her a jacket. It's all right.
girls, if you're listening to this and your partner gives you a goose down jacket, run.
And do not pluck that goddamn jacket.
Yeah,
Just
don't
run.
pluck it. Your
Yeah.
family will be really angry with you.
Yeah, your father might kill you in the ocean.
Exactly. And then you might turn into a pearl, which is not great.
Oh, that's a nice part. I don't know, might as well.
Here's the thing about pearls. A pearl is essentially a grain of sand that has been irritating the oyster for so long that the oyster was like, I can't get rid of you, so I might just cover you in more silica so you become smooth. Okay, so if you call somebody a pearl, you're essentially telling them that they're irritating and you can't get rid of them.
Irritating so much that I turn into something valuable.
It reminds me not to call people a pearl.
Quote right there.
Going back to your art piece,
right.
I see it's very, very pink and red. I'm assuming that is for the blood.
Yep.
I see the pearl and it's gorgeous. I don't know how you did that shine, but it's there. It's shiny, but it's on a piece of paper.
I know.
I
have no idea how I did that either.
It's amazing. I'm just gonna say that. Is there a reason why you made it look like carpet? Because that's the first thing I thought.
Yeah, that's just my style. Like I am very extra. I just need a lot of things on top, very maximalist. So when I'm out of things to draw, like I don't know what else I could add in this, I will add effects. I'll add a lot of noise and a lot of texture, and it make it look less digital as possible. Just so it looks more mixed media type vibe.
Because I'm just looking at it, and if you had this as like you know, it's a trend to now turn art pieces into carpet. Like you have the carpet gun.
Is that a trend? Yeah.
It was a whole thing. Like people like, I'm gonna turn this into carpet, and then they turn it into carpet, and I'm like, now I want to make carpets. It's very dangerous. Internet makes you craft.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining this on a wall, like full cotton draping in a studio kind of thing. And I mean like a music studio because you need that sound dampening effect.
Yeah.
Because I was just looking at the ripples in the water and how it just flows beautifully. I'm just like, this is carpet. This is carpet.
Yeah. I just feel bad for anyone who have to make this. It just looks like a lot of work, to be honest.
But it's so gorgeous. Oh, it's so gorgeous. So I see you have the goose down cape thing. What about the rest of the stuff? Are they informed by Vietnamese culture?
let me see. Not really. It's just mostly just me. I'm trying to make a more cultural response, but no, I can't fake this out. It's
Fun.
just a bunch of my own texture. I was just like, what else can I add into this? Because if it's the pearl, the oyster thing,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I'm trying to not just draw the oyster, the outside of the oyster. So this is a cut of the inside and the outside, just to make the texture more interesting to look at. And then they have too many things already, along with the ripples. And then if it's just the goose jacket, if I just draw a normal goose jacket, it's just white and a lot of feathers, which is boring. So added a bit of flowers because why not? I'm dying, but I'm pretty anyways. And then yeah, the patch of red is just the blood coming out. I'm sure the father probably stabbed her. I don't know. They just say that he drew his sword and then he kills her. So he could decapitate her, he could stab her, he could do all kind of stuff. But I'm just thinking stabbing. Yeah, it just sounds very bad.
Very, very, very simple.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a flower blood there. Might as well tie it all in together with other flowers around just to show her femininity. And yeah, all the other things around is just trying to make it look like a fairy tale instead of a tragedy. Like there's a lot of blood going on, so I was just adding a little bit of sprinkles and stars to make it like, hi kids, this is still a story for you.
This is a tale of betrayal. Okay, so the dude at the bottom, husband or dad?
Husband.
Husband. Okay.
I tell you, I even forgot about the dad in the story. He was just,
He's like,
even
he's
though
irrelevant.
he's the main character, but yeah.
Because
but yeah, the whole thing is just a love story. They said it's a love story, but the gaslighting is hell.
Oh my god, the gaslighting is so strong.
Yeah, but so it's just him reaching out like, would you forgive me, please?
No.
No. Bye.
Bye.
But yeah, no, that's the husband right there.
Because
can't even bother to draw his face because he's faceless.
Yeah, he's a liar. He doesn't deserve a face. The story that I know actually centered more on the dad and how the dad created essentially Vietnam and the city that is a seashell, and how when the husband's dad's army came to invade the second time, the king was like, no, it's fine. It's like they forgot we have the powerful weapon. So he was just chilled until it was too late. And then everybody died. Like the minute he shot the arrow and he's like, wait a minute. Oh, we're
it's
effed.
just one
we're
arrow
effed.
coming out.
It's just like, well, damn. I'm good. And then he just gets up and runs away. He's like, okay, my time as king has done. It has gone. I'm gonna get a horse, get my daughter, and we're gonna leave. I'm leaving everything up to you guys, my retinue of servants, generals. Bye. And I'm like, what is that?
Basically,
you didn't even go down with your ship.
That, doesn't have that captain spirits on him.
Like, he just runs. So really, it is his fault that he took his daughter. Because he ran away.
Could just let her be there, and then her husband could fetch her, and they could live happily ever after. But no, bring her with him.
People, what we can learn from this story is that people are inherently very, very stupid, and very, very trusting.
Most stories, anyways. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Camelia, for speaking with me. I appreciate everything that you've been doing. I thank you so much for being a part of this journey with us.
It's a pleasure.
And we'll see when this thing comes out.
Yeah.
How it goes.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Me too.
I'm excited to see it.
Please pet your sleeping dog for me. And I hope to speak to you more next time.
Thank you. Me too.